We're backstage here at Green Man, the rolling beautiful hills, the Brecon beacons that go on for miles. I'm joined by Joshua Idahen. Hello.
Hello.
Great to see you, mate. You well?
Great to see you.
And Ludvig. Sorry. I do want to know how you are.
Yeah. I'm doing good.
Whatevs. Ludvig.
Yes, hi.
It's great to see you both, as always. The last time I saw you, I think, was here, not on this very log, but here at Green Man Festival a few years ago. Do you remember the set, right?
Yeah. I was here performing. I did, I think, about 3 different shows. I was mostly performing at the Chaiwala stage. It was just me in a suit, and I had a SP404 that I put in my backpack, and I was performing on the Sunday morning. I'd been here the whole festival, and I'd broken my voice after 2 days of partying, so that made for a very, very grisly Sunday morning performance. I think people really bought into the idea that I was a pastor, because I was just like,
You always have a very sharp wardrobe of suits, I've noticed these days.
It's diversified a bit. I think, as it turns out, performing in a suit during the summer is, no bueno.
It's a great look, though. How has Stockholm embraced you with open arms then, since you moved over there? About 5 years ago or something?
Yeah, 2020. It's been great. I mean, like, it's been very, very supportive. I think they have a completely different attitude towards culture there. Like, just because different people, it's up north. It's a lot more socialist, to say in the best of terms. And yeah, working with Ludvig has just been great. It's a much more sedate pace, so it's kind of giving us the space and time to actually really work on our music and not essentially kind of like panic and worry about all that extra stuff like who's gonna like it, how's it going to appear. Just like, where else are 2 people going to go? Oh, I like weird dance music. I like spoken word. Let's put that together and see what works. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of been where we've landed. And yeah, it is down to Sweden being such a fertile ground for us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can completely tell, I've loved your music for years, that it comes from a place of love. With Mum Does the Washing, you couldn't engineer that as a hit, but it's become a big tune that's all over the radio and it's everywhere, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if you're going to talk about engineering, you should probably speak to Ludvig about that, because he's the engineer behind it.
No, but I think there's like this definitely like a calm that like plays into us making this music that we want to do. Also, like, it not really being a band, but it's like a long form project collaboration, and just we just like work well together, and we don't stress it. So I feel like we've done enough songs to feel calm enough to do something that Mom Does the Washing and an illegal hit that we just did not really think justice. Like, it doesn't have to be a hook, doesn't have to have any specific, like, it just feels good to us, and then we hope that people maybe like it, and if we like it, they do, and they did. For that one. Yeah,
I think especially with Mom Does the Washing, I remember Ludvig when he sent me the beat, he said, let me know if you don't like this. And usually when Ludvig says, "Oh, I'm not sure if you like this" or anything like that, that means it's a bona fide banger. So I got myself ready.
This old thing.
You know what I'm saying? When he's like, "I'm not sure about this one," it's like, "Oh yeah, that's the one we should be sure about." So yeah, and I remember I heard it, and immediately with Mom Does the Washing, I was just like, "Oh my God, this is exactly it." It wasn't. I think that was also great about it, because it wasn't what I was expecting. It was nothing like what I was expecting, and that's kind of like the genius that he brings in. And yeah, he's just like he said, he's right. It is because we are living in a place where that kind of pressure to perform isn't really there, and we can't really focus on being we can focus on having fun. We can focus on thinking about other things, like how much joy does this bring, and how cool is this to me, and how much fun am I having at this particular point in time? And I think that is something that our environment, our history together, and the experiences working music has just kind of like come together to produce this new project.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have days? Have you had a day when you've written lots for the songbook, your collection of poems or spoken word or writing? Do you get into a songwriting groove where you'll just have 5 in one day?
Yes, sometimes. I think not so much now, because recently, ever since we've stumbled on a little bit of recognition, suddenly my inner critic has gotten very loud. Like, that's not as good as Don't You Give Up on Me, so you better scrap that. Well, I think earlier on, like, Ludwig is actually very, very good at coming up with several beats at the same time. So usually, by the time when I start writing, I have a whole catalog. And I think nowadays, I do tend to kind of like, if I write something and it's really good, then I sort of like, okay, you know what, today I'm going to try and make that while I still have the energy. Let me try and make that as good as possible, because that means that the sooner I have it good, the sooner I can record it, send to him, the sooner he can be like, okay, let's record it. And then when we record it, I think that's another thing that's really good about this project, is just the two of us. So the pipeline between he has a beat, I have an idea, to a performance on stage is very, very thin. It's very, very thin. And I know that every time if I write something that's good, you know, the sooner I finish it, then it's pretty much ready to go. It's pretty much ready to perform. And I think we really enjoy having that freedom and that ability to write new stuff and perform it immediately off the cuff. I can't say that the album is going to be about redemption. It's going to be about friendship. It's going to be about positivity, resilience, you know, all those big old words that kind of like shine a bit brighter in these darker times that we're living in. Yeah.
By the way, with songs and germs of ideas for songs, do you overhear conversations or mishear things sometimes and think, oh, that'd be a good song?
Yeah. Like the line "Tears in the Dance Floor" was what's it called? I was talking to a friend online, and it was over Zoom, and we were talking about it was during the pandemic. It was just kind of like the end of the pandemic actually, and he was chatting to someone else, and I think he said was something in the dance floor. I think either was I'll see you in the dance floor. And all I had was tears in the dance floor. So I'm like, oh, tears in the dance floor, tears in the dance floor, tears. So I'm like, yep. This is gonna be a bomb. It's gonna be a bomb. Yeah, that happens. That happens a lot with me. Well, not as much as it used to, but yeah, I think when I'm trying to write music, I pull for as many sources as possible, and it could be a scene, it could be a movie quote. Sometimes I will write a line from my favorite song and I'll be like, okay, cool, this is the inspiration, and I'll try and create an alternate universe, another storyline from that line. Like, you know, there was a band I used to love called Radiohead, and I did it with one of their lines where I wrote their line up there. I think it was 15 blows to the back of your skull, and I just wrote in a completely different song, just with that as like the title. Yeah, and that
went off in a completely different.
In a completely different tangent. You just kind of like, you know, it's so for a while I used to think I would think of myself as like, okay, if I'm taking this one line of this artist, I'm featuring on the track, so I'm featuring on the Radiohead track, right? Where would I go with the song? And then I write something completely different. And you know, the different ways to kind of trick the brain into inspiring itself. You know, also just, you know, thinking about, you know, if I'm stuck, I just go into the bathroom and have a shower. That is the best. It is the best way to come out of writer's block. Just go sit in the shower, just sit there for a while, and then suddenly your brain will go places.
Oh, okay, sorry I've been here since Monday at Green Man. I do need a shower. and I also need my mum to do the washing. Joshua Ludvig, it's been so great to see you at Green Man. And yeah, excited for the gig tonight. It'll be a perfect finale for the weekend. It'll be great. Thanks guys, great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.